it's right now, it's tarpon season, and you need conditions like this, like they'll be out there this afternoon. The fish will be, because the fresh water brings them up. But most of the time I go out in the morning and have a boat, a bunch of people, and it was up to me probably what we fished for. And I usually ran out to the M reefs and fished for quality stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And I'd take a quick look and not see any tarpon, which they might not show all morning long. So I'd quit that. Do you have a time period on
No.
this? Okay.
My ring camera went off.
Oh, okay.
So I'm looking at my ring.
So experience with big tarpon I don't have, but I can put you on the babies, because that's taken over this 5 years to develop.
I caught one in Cuba on my third cast.
I saw you holding it, nice fish.
In cast.
And so you know what they feel like now.
Yeah, but remember, in Key West, I've caught hundreds.
Oh, you caught plenty of tarpon.
Accidentally.
Oh yeah.
I don't want them.
Okay, you don't want them.
If you couldn't eat them, you didn't want them, and we didn't know the difference.
Okay.
You'd be at the dock, or you'd be somewhere. You bring
Well, here, let's go back to what I'm teaching you. Is I do everything on foot, from the car, without a boat, with only a fly rod, a weighted pouch, and some boots. And I'll just get the job done. I want to catch a nice fish this morning. That's all I care about. That's all I care about.
I'm so excited.
I like to get a little film of it, because maybe someday when I'm cryptic or disabled, I won't be able to do this. Or remember, I don't know. Anyhow, my wife gave me a GoPro, and I said, "What am I going to do with this?" And
this one.
Yeah. Well, now I have two. I got a newer one. What am I going to do with this? And so now, if I go fishing without it, I feel naked, because
You have a pack, or is it on your head?
on my hat. So it's not even like it's there at all. Big fish comes on, or I got the thing running, and I don't even know if it's on or not. And then I get into a good one. It's just great to see it all again.
I've not got onto
Especially if you make a mistake.
Yeah.
Or maybe you saw something in the background that led you to make that presentation. Oh, that's why I did that. There they are.
Have you seen the guy called Jungle Angler? Please look
Look
him
at
up.
Okay. Well.
He's catching fish like this on the fly.
Uh-huh.
He was just in the United States at one of those, and on one of his comments, and finally, he's on a piece of land, and he's shooting something and he's on the land, he's doing one of these.
Uh-huh.
And it hits, and then he's in the water holding it like
Anaconda.
this. Yeah, no, and it's like, and I said, do me a favor. He said, what? To me. He said, make a film of your bloopers. Because God damn it, you're just too good.
I'm not that
No, wait.
Yeah.
And he said that's a phenomenal idea
sure.
for him to post bloopers. You know.
Sure. I don't want that.
That's not for you, it's for him.
Yeah, I have a very small window, and maybe it's not for everyone, but like I said, if you choose to do it, you will be successful. I mean, I go back online, or I have my fish, and I wonder, should I be feeding them in the morning? Well, no, I feed them in the afternoon. They still feed very well, because they're only being fed once a day, but I know fish's habits because I'm around them a lot, and either early or late. The thing about late is you lose a part of the circle, or the circle, and the circle is one time a day, which for me is first light. I'm just gonna put FL. Number 2 is you've checked the conditions, because number 2 has to be weather. We didn't go fishing today for a reason. You would have been out to lunch when that front came through. I said, wow, it looks like you could really squeeze one in this morning. And then all of a sudden, the sky got really black, and I said, well, glad I'm not out there. I didn't need to squeeze one in. But there will be time when adverse conditions may lead you to get out during the day for baby tarpon, I would say.
Lightning, storm.
Yeah, this tropical weather pattern is the key. So
I've got caught in most.
So we're going early in the morning. We chose our location according to weather, and What else would be key there that we do different? Oh, now we have tide. The tide is also going to play a factor. Tide and weather, these two are going to play a factor in our last part of the quadrant, which is location. So this is how we put our trip together. We look at all that ahead of time. How long does that take? It doesn't take more than 15 minutes, but then you can think about it in your head, maybe try to predict the outcome.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do after we're done here. We think we've covered most everything. So I choose the scientific angler fly line, and I was going to say I would choose an 8 or a 9, and I just stepped up to a 9 because I found that, man, I can pick up a 9 that's actually older, but they're still making lightweight rods. And you're fishing, not that you're fishing all day, but a lightweight rod is kind of better than an old axe that just kind of swings kind of heavy, or that you gotta overline the rod because it's such a high-end fast rod. You can't get that soft, accurate, soft cast because it's every one's designed to go out 70 foot, from a boat, or handle a Grand Slam line that loads in 40 feet because that's what it takes to feel the action of the rod. There's a lot said right there about rods. I just happened to get into, over the last 2 years, almost underlining the rod because I like the way a lighter grain line feels picking it up. Because I'm maybe doing a lot of false casts, and maybe, that's part of what my fishing is. They're going to say, well, gee, Jim Roberts is probably, he's not exactly a true fly fisherman. Well, no, let's go back to the list. I'm an angler and a fisherman first. I'm a fisherman. But now I choose only to use the fly. So I am a fly fisherman. And now, not only that, I choose a method that puts fish in my bucket. I'm not going to go out there and just throw the fly line to beat myself to death. So, like I said, I've developed this plan of attack to put the fish in my favor. It's once you know the fish's habits, you're not that you're thinking like a fish. I gotta think like a fish. Where's he gonna be? You want to outsmart the fish. You know where he's gonna be. You're already second guessing him. You're hoping that that you can outsmart the fish, because some of them are pretty smart. So fly line, I like lighter grain on a almost an ultra fast rod now, because I like a lot of 30, 40 foot casts. I'm starting to realize I'm not really killing it out there. You're saying, no, it looks like Jim's got it down pretty good, just a one back cast and letting it go. Well, yeah, when the line's really wet and you grease, I didn't really grease it, it's the water that greases it. And smooth conditions, that's part of this scenario is you're gonna go in the morning and not in the afternoon, because in the afternoon as the summer comes you have weed,
wind, boat traffic,
heat, boat traffic, all your enemy.
Yeah.
A boat comes around, he's totally the opposite of what we're doing.
And there's one every day
And
in
there's
front of
one every
Ringling
day.
with a bait guy.
Probably.
Every morning.
There'll come a time in the next month where I'll be trying to evade them and they'll be trying to evade me. But, you can go somewhere else.
It's funny, they have a table at Mangrove Coast.
Yeah.
John, big, tall.
Let's have it done.
He's the question and answer table,
Uh-huh.
And so I've been listening. I'm gonna do the one that's not
cakey?
Sugar.
No?
I'm gonna grab a napkin from
Yeah.
so we don't make a mess of your desk.
Paper towels colder in the kitchen, I guess.
Right.
Grab me one. Blueberry. Oh. Mm. Well, I guess we can't cover everything today, but
We're breaking the ice.
so I need to know what you're throwing tomorrow.
I have so many flies. I started tying, by the
How
way,
about rod first? What are you gonna choose?
but I got boxes of Clousers and.
How about your rod? Let's start with your rod.
Well, I now have a Lamson
Mm-hmm.
that when I went up to the St. Pete Clearwater Tampa Club big meeting,
Mm-hmm.
they brought Chico Fernandez to come speak,
Uh-huh.
who I have a connection in my brain
Tampa
because he
Club?
went, he lived, as you know, from, he went from
Miami,
Cuba to
Cuba,
Key
right.
West on the car and drove to.
Mm.
Anyway, so there they had this Lamson rod and reel,
Mm.
and it was, I've never seen anything quite like this before. They don't make them anymore, and it's pretty new. The reel is permanently attached to the rod.
Huh.
You're not gonna take it off and put on another reel.
Mm.
And it's an 8-weight.
Yeah.
So I do have a 9, I have a 10, I got a 12, got a 5.
So we're probably gonna grab the 8.
So I do have another rod that I've not used.
Mm-hmm.
I was in with Ken's group in Puerto Rico, and there's a guy that always goes on this trip from upstate New York. Where is that? Lake Placid.
Yeah.
His son's a guide, and he had a bunch of too many rods. I said, well, I need a 6 because I want a different reel on my 6.
Yeah.
So I got a Hardy from him
Yeah. They're supposed to be good.
at about $200 or $300
Uh-huh.
off.
But we gotta stay with an 8 or a 9.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll probably use the Lamson, and do you know what kind of line is on it?
Whatever was specified.
Okay. So I'll have to cast it sometime while we're out and see if I'm gonna just give you my opinion. Do I like it or not?
Or I can take my new Hardy and open it up, and I have a reel that
6?
hasn't been on it yet.
Huh?
I can bring it the new Hardy,
Yeah, which is a 6
um,
and a new.
not a 6, it's an 8.
Oh, okay.
8.
So we'll
The only 6 I have, 30 years ago, went to Montana. Friends picked me up, and we spent a week fishing. They took me to a fly shop,
So what?
and I bought
So what about? Let's go back to the Hardy. It needs a reel. You have a reel for it. That's not set up. Well, that could be set up. Doesn't have a line on.
yeah,
Oh no.
they're all set up. I mean, everything's sitting. I redid my whole garage for fly fishing.
Why don't you start out with the Hardy 8?
And set the Lambton aside.
Yeah.
I haven't used it yet.
The
I can
Hardy,
do
Hardy
that.
might be a better rod.
Yeah, and I have a reel that's never been on it yet.
Mm-hmm. Have fun setting that up. Brand new leader and everything.
Yeah.
That's what I do. And we'll take a look at that one. They're supposed to be good rods. All right. So, without overdoing it today, shot a lot of video. Covered the sponsors. Like the dry, that cost me $200. Most of these, my tools, my wife buys for me because I'm on a limited budget. But that's a $250 bag. That
This one?
Erwin bought one. He just happened to see me with one and thinks he's using something else. And I said, he knows I'm waiting all the time. And at the compound, they said they're made out of good product. You see, it's made out of like a inflatable. You see the rubber on that thing?
Yeah, I
So-
want
so
to
it
pick it
is-
up. It's
it
heavy
is-
as hell.
I thought it was light, but anyway,
Yeah.
the main thing is it's dry because those fly boxes,
I have
mine are not dry.
My kidney shape goes behind me here, and it's camo waterproof.
Oh,
But it sits here. I can't
get in it?
I have to stop, put everything down.
Hmm.
If you don't have a basket, which I've never used, I have it, you could put your rod down and use your hands. But if you're out in the water, where do you put your damn rod? You're trying to swing this around your
Well, that's
body.
a waist pack, but I don't want it behind me. I can't really pull it around. And I don't want it in front of me where I strip, so I just throw it over my shoulder as a waist pack over my shoulder.
But what, do you cross it this way?
Yeah, and just get it behind me, and then I can easily wing it around in front of me.
I looked at the fish pond because the one I have is like it's like a sling pack.
Mm.
But
Alright,
pockets are too small in that one.
nice to have a dry pack, I don't know.
Yeah, I've got one, but I've got two other ones. I bought a collection of fly stuff from a guy that sold everything. I saw this ad popped up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so frustrated with fly fishing kind of a thing, and I'm getting rid of everything.
Well, you'll hit these peaks and levels, and I mean, I'm sure Rick's
So
talking
anyway,
about it.
I bought this guy's everything. I got fly tying stuff from him. I got a pouch, line.
Well, I'm gonna try to take it down to strictly doing what I do, unless you wanna go off on your own and go, I mean, or
No.
we will do some trying to sight fish redfish before the water temperature gets too hot. Like fish around 10:30, possibly as late as 10:30 sometimes.
All I need to do is put it in my schedule, and I'm
Right.
ready.
I also get it down to just 2 flies or 1 fly. Believe it or not, I won't change. That's the 1 fly. This is the fly before the eyes are on it, and the eyes are large bead chain.
I have it. I don't have
I mean,
a large.
and I'm gonna make you get it down to 1 fly that you tie, that you have the same confidence as I do. If I handed you one of my flies and said, Rick, Richard, I'm standing right next to you, I'm catching them, you're not. It's gotta be your fly. I mean, I went out with Irwin,
Can I take a picture?
yeah. I went out with Irwin, and he's standing right next to me, and you know, I know he wants my help, and he's throwing my fly, and he's not catching them. And I'm going, you know, all right, Irwin, give me your rod. I take his rod. His line was so bad. I often thought of buying this line, but God, I'm glad I never bought it. It was that sink tip line, clear tip. That would lead you into buying it. I think you need it because it got a clear tip. The sink's intermediate. 10 or 15 feet of his tip is now sinking on top of his leader and whatever weight he chose or fly size he chose. So every time he goes to catch up to his fly to strip, it's down in the weeds, and he thinks he's got a fish, he's got a weed. And every time I cast and go to the second strip, I'm on a fish because he came up and ate the fly.
Did you see the video of the Barramundi trip we took? Well, you know, Ken puts a group and they go up to Barramundi.
Oh yeah. I love
So
that.
I went there, and
I liked it, yeah.
the middle one was the big ones, the far one were the little ones.
Yeah, right. I'd
So
stay on the
finally,
big
I'm
ones.
doing the little one. And
Nah.
the guy who was running the place came right to me. I said, look, I'm new at this. And we went through 5 flies in 15 minutes till finally he went in my box and picked one I had tied the night before.
He didn't hand you a fly to use? 'Cause
No,
usually
he's using everyone, what do you have? Let's see what you have. And,
dark
but I
brown.
went through 5 flies in 15 minutes.